Hey there, welcome to Next Upward. Take a breath, because what you're about to hear isn't just another success story. It's a story that'll wake you up from the inside. This is the story of a man who proved that kindness can build an empire. A man who changed the way the world sees success. His name is Will Guidara. He didn't start out famous. He didn't come from power or privilege. He started in a kitchen, washing dishes, serving tables, doing the little things no one else wanted to do. But somewhere deep inside, Will carried this quiet belief that small acts done with love could create something bigger than any title or paycheck. He didn't know how yet, but he believed. And belief is where all greatness begins. Now picture this. It's 2006 New York City, the heart of hustle. Will just became the general manager of a fine dining restaurant called 11 Madison Park. Everything around him screams perfection. White tablecloths, silver forks, people talking about Michelin stars and critics. But Will, he feels something missing. The food was flawless, the service impeccable, and still there was no soul. It was like watching a symphony with no heart behind it. One day, a small group of guests walked in, tourists from out of town. They said, "We've tried every top restaurant in New York, but we never got to try a New York hot dog." Everyone laughed. But Will, he didn't. He ran out, bought a hot dog from a street cart, brought it back, plated it like a masterpiece, and served it to those guests with a smile. The room went silent. They laughed. They cried. They felt seen. That single act, that one moment of human connection, changed everything. Will realized something most people never do. Business isn't about what you serve. It's about how you make people feel. That's when he built his entire life around one powerful idea. Unreasonable hospitality, going above and beyond. Not because you have to, but because you care enough to. Because you want someone to walk away saying, "I'll never forget that." He turned a restaurant into a place of emotion, empathy, and energy, where guests didn't just eat, they felt loved. And that belief, that service with heartbeat service with rules, became the soul of his success. But let's pause for a second. Ask yourself this. What if you did your job with unreasonable hospitality? What if you didn't just finish your task, but poured heart into it? Imagine what kind of ripple that would start in your world. Will's story isn't just about food. It's about life, about leadership, about choosing meaning over money. His journey wasn't easy. Long nights, tough critics, endless pressure. But while everyone else chased perfection, Will chased connection. And that made him unstoppable. Under his leadership, 11 Madison Park didn't just become good, it became the best restaurant in the world, the number one. Not because of fancy ingredients, but because of human spirit, because every person who walked through that door felt seen, valued, remembered. Will taught his team to go beyond. He created a role called the Dream Weaver, a person whose job was to create unforgettable moments for guests. Someone might say, "I miss my mom's cooking," and minutes later, a dish inspired by that memory appeared on their table. Someone might mention they loved a certain song. Boom, it played softly while dessert was served. That's what Will built. A culture where caring wasn't optional. It was everything. Now think about this. You don't need a restaurant to do that. You don't need money or power. All you need is awareness. Awareness of people. Awareness of moments. You can do the same thing in your home, your office, your small circle of friends. You can be the person who goes the extra inch, who gives a little more than expected, who makes someone's day lighter. And you know what happens when you do that? The universe starts to give back in ways you can't predict, because kindness multiplies. It's physics of the soul. So here's your reminder. Kindness isn't weakness. Kindness is power. The world teaches us to be tough, to compete, to win at all costs. But Will Guidara showed us that the true winners are the ones who make others feel like they matter. He didn't build his empire on fear or dominance. He built it on care, and that's exactly why he'll be remembered long after trends fade away. Now, let me ask you something real. When was the last time you did something just to make someone else smile? No strings attached. When did you last go beyond good enough? When did you last make someone feel like they mattered? Because that's where your greatness lives. In those moments, you stop being ordinary. You become unforgettable. The truth is, we all want to be successful. We all want to matter. But we chase it backward. We think success brings meaning. But Will proved that meaning brings success. You start by giving and somehow, it all comes back to you. That's not motivation talk. That's math of life. When Will looked at his restaurant team, he didn't see employees. He saw dream builders. He said, if we make people feel something they'll never forget, we'll be unstoppable. And guess what? They were. They earned every award, every recognition. But more than that, they earned respect because they served with humanity. So today, maybe you're in your own kitchen, your own version of washing dishes, doing things that feel small or unseen. But remember this, the difference between ordinary and legendary is intention. You're not stuck, you're building. You're not behind, you're becoming. You're not just serving someone else's dream, you're sharpening your own. The story of Will Guidara reminds us, when you show up with heart, every room becomes your stage. Every task becomes your test. Every act becomes your story. And if you do it long enough, loud enough, and real enough, one day the world notices. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 24 hours, do one act of unreasonable kindness. It doesn't have to be big, just genuine. Compliment someone who looks tired. Text that friend you've been avoiding. Say, thank you, like you mean it. Give your best, not because someone deserves it, but because you decide to watch how it changes your energy. Watch how it changes theirs. Because when you light someone up, you light yourself up too. And that's what this story is really about. Will's success wasn't about Michelin stars or awards. It was about the ripple, the movement of heart to heart. And that's what the world needs now, more than ever. Less perfection, more connection, less competition, more compassion. So, if you're watching this right now, I want you to hear me clearly. You have that same power. You have the power to turn your ordinary day into someone else's extraordinary moment. You can be the reason someone believes again. You can be the proof that kindness still wins. Because in the end, when people remember you, they won't recall your job title or your bank balance. They'll remember how you made them feel. That's your legacy. That's your mark. That's your empire. So the next time you walk into your version of that restaurant, your workspace, your dream, remember Will Guidara. Remember the hot dog. Remember that one small act that changed an entire industry. And then ask yourself, what's my hot dog moment? What's the small act of heart I can do today that might change everything tomorrow? This is Next Upward. If you felt something, don't just scroll, share this. Comment, I'm ready, and subscribe for more stories that lift you higher. Because here's the truth, you don't rise by climbing alone. You rise by lifting others. And if Will Guidara taught us anything, it's this. When you give more than you take, you rise higher than you dream.